Did you know that some of the world's most successful people spent years alone, not by choice, but because they were too busy chasing their dreams? It wasn't because they didn't want friends or they didn't care to socialize, but because they knew something most people overlook. They knew that in solitude, there's power. And today, I want to share with you why being alone can be your greatest asset. If you've ever felt isolated, like you're on this journey by yourself, this video is for you. Society tells us that loneliness is something to avoid, like a disease. We're surrounded by messages saying, "Don't be alone," or "You need to be out there," making connections, constantly socializing. But here's the truth. Loneliness and solitude are two very different things. Loneliness is a feeling. It's the absence of connection. But solitude is a choice. It's the act of intentionally being alone to discover yourself and to grow. Greatness is often born in moments of solitude. Think of Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, or even Marcus Aurelius. They spent countless hours alone, thinking, creating, and evolving. Solitude isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. Look at the most dedicated people in any field. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists. What do they have in common? They spend an insane amount of time alone. When others are out celebrating or relaxing, they're in the gym, the studio, or behind their desks grinding away. It's easy to think they're missing out, but what they're really doing is investing in themselves. You see, when you're alone, you have space to focus. There are no distractions, no noise, just you and your goal. That's when breakthroughs happen. In solitude, you find the clarity to know what you really want and the discipline to go after it. So, if you're alone right now, grinding away, working on that dream, know that you're not missing out. You're preparing. You're building something most people won't understand until they see the results. In solitude, something magical happens. You get the chance to reflect. Most of us are so caught up in the noise of everyday life that we don't have time to truly think about where we're headed. But when you're alone, you get the opportunity to step back and see the bigger picture. You start to ask yourself questions like, am I on the right path? What am I doing this for? And in those quiet moments, you often find the answers that push you forward. This is the true power of solitude. It's not just about working harder. It's about understanding yourself better. And when you know yourself, your decisions become more aligned with your purpose. Being alone isn't just about working harder or reflecting. It's also about building mental strength. In solitude, you face your fears, your doubts, and all the things you usually distract yourself from. But when you confront those feelings head-on, something incredible happens. You grow stronger. Every time you sit with discomfort, every time you face the fear of missing out, you're building resilience. And that resilience is what separates those who give up from those who succeed. When you're alone, you learn to rely on yourself. You don't need validation from others because you know your worth. And that kind of confidence is unshakable. The beauty of solitude is that it transforms you. It's where you go to evolve, to sharpen your skills, to dig deep into who you really are. When you emerge from it, you're not the same person. You've gained wisdom, strength, and a deep understanding of your purpose. It's in the silence of being alone that you find the loudest truths about yourself. And those truths, they fuel your success. So I ask you, what if the loneliness you've been avoiding is the key to your breakthrough? What if all the distractions have been keeping you from realizing your full potential? Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. It means choosing yourself. It means investing time in your growth, your goals, and your future. Some of the greatest achievements in history were made in solitude. And maybe, just maybe, your greatest achievements will be born in your quietest moments too. Don't be afraid of being alone. Embrace it, because in that space you'll find the strength, clarity, and purpose you've been searching for. And when you do, you'll realize that solitude was never your enemy. It was your greatest asset.